look so beautiful. See you with
Thank
all the
you. So do
laughs.
you.
Thank you. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday,
Thank you.
girl. Look at us in this beautiful month of the February.
I know. My
Thank you.
favorite month
You
of
know,
the year.
it's the most special month of all time.
Agreed.
I hope that you are having a grand birthday month over there.
I'm doing the best of I'm making the best of it and trying to take everything as a lesson this month.
Fair,
So,
fair.
yeah.
That's kind of like my life motto right now. We're just learning. We're just out
Listen,
here
I am just learning. And
growing
some
and learning.
things I only want to learn once, and then other things I might be okay with taking a few extra courses on.
Same, same. Thank y'all for joining. For those of you that joined, so I'll jump in and get us started. So for those of you that are new to this conversation, this is Black Business Mentality. I am having a segment this month where I am just speaking to different Black business owners, Black entrepreneurs, where we are discussing not only how we're prioritizing our own mental health out here in the world of the business, but also how our gifts and our talents and our businesses pour into the lives of other people in their wellness journey. And so I'm coming from the 8 different parts of the wellness wheel. And of course, we have our physical self. And so I definitely thought of you as just like my first choice of someone who not only teaches the connection with physical health and mental health, but also how you're walking in it in your own journey. And how like your vulnerability with me and mine with you has been like, this ain't always easy, baby. Like this is not, it's just not. And so, like, having to prioritize wellness, but also run a business, that's a journey in itself. So, Coach Shay, thank you so much for having this discussion with me. Thank you for your time. So I want to start off this discussion just by asking, one, tell us a little bit about just how you got into entrepreneurship, and how it is in your own journey, kind of affected your own mental health.
Okay. Well, first, thank you for always thinking of me and for including me in your platform and allowing me to share in your sphere of influence. Um, I used to say that entrepreneurship found me accidentally on purpose, and it did
Mm.
in this time and in this business. But I realized I technically have always been an entrepreneur. Even after graduating college, I didn't go into the big wheel business. I worked for other small businesses, always as a W-9 contract, a 1099 contractor. So even when I was a publicist, I still had to go after it on my own. So at that time, I didn't recognize it because I was like, it's under the sphere of entertainment. That's a big thing on its own. So I work in entertainment. I didn't start to understand that it was actually entrepreneurship until this new life cycle doing the wellness and actually just understanding how just everything is an ecosystem in itself. And I was like, okay, well, this is entrepreneurship. And I
Mm-hmm.
will be honest with you and tell you that I didn't want it. I was like, I don't want this. I want me a check. I want stability.
Mm-hmm.
I want something that I can depend on. I want to be able to have a 401k. I want balance. I want security. I want sustainability. But more than that, I wanted people to be healthy.
Yeah.
I got into this because my mom was sick. We
Mm-hmm.
went through a health crisis. My mom, the day after Christmas, had a seizure that left just me dumbfounded. And when I was in the ICU with her and found out the cause of why, and I'm like, what do you mean? We could have been just eating better and exercising.
Woo.
Like I do that already. That's what I do. And you mean to tell me that if my mom, what? Why don't people know this?
Mm-hmm.
And that is essentially how I got into this like new journey of entrepreneurship and understanding and building a business. And I will be honest, even though I'm going in my 8th year of entrepreneurship, this is probably the first year that I am not just working in the business, but also on the business and growing it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we get so busy and doing this, and I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, and we're working. I was like, I done gave myself a job. I don't have a business. I'm an entrepreneur with a job.
That is
So
a word.
yeah, I was like, I got a job. But it ain't a job. Like, I don't have benefits. I can't clock out when I want to. It's 24/7. I'm always thinking about things. People are always calling, texting me. But the math ain't mathing with all the work that I'm putting into it, and it being a job if I were in like the traditional job space. So that is when I started realizing, like, okay, we need to start compartmentalizing a lot of these different things and seeing where that whole wheel of wellness is for me as an entrepreneurship. And to be a sustainable entrepreneur, how do we make this work? And that's where I'm at right now.
That is the key word, sustainability. Because like that's so valid. I think two things of what I heard in that. One, I'm in a space where same as you, like I'm realizing that like your time ain't money, your time is currency. And like I was just speaking to in the last discussion that I did of like I had to shift in my business mentality of what do I do with my time, just because life shifted. Like I'm now a mom, I'm now, you know what I'm saying? And so it's like I can't do all of these things where I'm just operating as an employee. I have
Right.
to manage business where it somehow I'm gonna have to get paid on the back end, because like I need to rest and like sit down
Look,
somewhere, because I got a toddler
seriously.
jumping from the windows to the wall. And so I think that's so important, because the second thing that I heard in that was the functionality of wellness, right? I think I think people forget that healthcare is a business, right? And so it's like, well, why would they give you insight on how to work on the function of these symptoms or the functionality of the problem? Because then you don't get to come back and give them your copay,
Yeah.
right? Or you're not constantly taking these prescriptions that they are contracted with to get compensated with. Like, we got to really understand that, yeah, the healthcare is supposed to be helping the people, but it's a business. And so when we are looking at how are we prioritizing the functionality of these problems, if we're doing that in our functionality, it might reduce some of these symptoms that we are having to operate in. So I think even for yourself, what has been some of your like awarenesses of your own health, of like I have to structure this about my
Constantly giving people a yes and not finding out the source of where that yes comes from, you're not giving your best yes. So you're not necessarily giving them the best you that you could show up as. And that's the point that I got to, where I was, I guess we could say it's not I was a save a hoe. I had a save a hoe complex. I was going to save everyone. I had the bandwidth. I had a superhero strength, and I'm just like, it might be a little bit of a God complex almost, to feel that someone else's outcome was dependent upon my yes. And I could not say no. Like, no was like a swear word. How dare I say no? They needed me. They came to ask me. Forget how I feel. Forget that I haven't slept. Forget that I have to do a doctor's appointment, drop kids off to school. I'm single, but I'm still doing all these other things, and I got a date and do all these things. Yes, you needed my help, of course, because I felt that since service was my love language, and I'm showing you more than I can tell you that I love you, I had to always say yes. So I had to get to the point where I started to respect myself enough to realize, like, wait, why are we so busy saying yes? Why do you have to say yes? Like, they're not going to die if you say no. Like, they can wait. So I had to get to that point, and really realizing that, yes, I had this, when I first became a caretaker, I was always an early riser, but I started rising earlier and earlier just to make it so that I would have more time to help other people. And I said I was doing it for myself, because I was like, if I pour into me first, I'll be a happier person, and I can do all these things for everyone else. But like, I realized just this year, like, I'm in a season where I cannot get up early. Like, I had to give myself.
You used to wake up before like the sun was in the sky.
Listen, baby,
like the earth is not up and you're up.
In the morning, I am up, I am going, I am responding to emails. And it's not just like I'm up and no one has access to me. At 2:30, by 2:35, when I grabbed my phone, if I saw that you had reached out to me previous night, if I saw an email, like, I was going. So at 2:30 in the morning, I was going. What I realized was, okay, not only do we have to tell people no, we have to tell ourselves no.
Yes.
We have to
Yes.
honestly just be like, why do I have to say yes? Why do I feel like I have to show up for everyone? Am I showing up for myself?
Mm-hmm.
Is this a way
Mm-hmm.
for me to abandon myself and not deal with my
Woo!
stuff? And then like deal with everybody else's stuff? Because I got it. I can take care of everybody else. I can save everyone else, but forget about trying to save myself. So I had to get to that point where I had to give myself grace and realize like, okay, one, it's okay to say no. It's okay to let no be a complete sentence.
Then.
And look, and then just focus. Like I've been calling it my selfful year. I'm not being selfish. I am literally relearning who I am.
Mm-hmm.
And so
Mm-hmm.
I am doing the cliche. I am pouring into me first. And when opportunities arise, I give my best yes. Otherwise, I say no.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Yes, absolutely. Because I think it's understanding that for every yes, there is a no on the opposite end, and vice versa. For every no, there is a yes. So it's just prioritizing, well, who do I want to say yes to today?
Yeah.
It's going to be me or you, baby. One of us going to have to get the no.
Yeah.
And I think what you just said is so powerful of like, do I focus on these external things and these other people because safety net and not on self? I don't even think a lot of.
I think I'm losing you a little bit. Really? Pretty face.
Can you hear me?
Nah, we back. Okay. Oh, it frozen
Okay.
again.
Um,
I think it might be me. I don't know.
is it
Okay, we're
me?
good. It's moving. It's moving again. We're good.
It's moving?
Yeah, we're good.
Okay. I was saying I don't think people really understand like the self-abandonment that goes in hyperactive yeses.
Yeah.
And what you described it as a love language, but it's ultimately redefining what love languages look like. Like, am I loving myself in this? Because ultimately, if I'm doing it and it's hurting me in response, that's not a love language, that's
Yeah.
sacrifice.
Right.
Right. And so I think that what you just explained is the concept of functionality. I got to get to the function of this yes so that I can even understand what's my resistance in saying no.
Mhm.
Um, one of the things that I've learned, and I also have taught other people, like my clients, is that when we are in these spaces where we're understanding what self love is, that selfish doesn't have to be such a negative connotation. It's just
Exactly.
society has placed this negative idea around selfishness, right?
Right.
But it's understanding that just because you have the capacity to do it does not mean that you need to.
Right. That
Because
part.
people be entering burnout and wondering, well, how did I get here? Because, baby, I didn't say yes all of the week.
Yes.
Um,
Seriously.
so thanks for just highlighting that.
Yeah.
Cause my favorite thing to tell you to do is sit down somewhere, Shay.
It is. And I've been listening more,
And
right?
I'm so grateful.
Okay.
Thank you so much. I want to highlight the concept of rest and like what you do in physical care, right? Because people think that rest is not doing anything, but rest is still in action.
You definitely need rest when you're doing it. So you can't grow without
Uh
rest,
huh.
right? So
Yes.
a lot of people think that they're gonna come into the gym, they're gonna work out 7 days a week, they're gonna put their bodies through all that trauma. And even though God gave us a source to do everything that we need within our own bodies internally, like the Sabbath is it's a biblical complex. Like you rest, you work for a certain period, and then you must rest. And
Mm-hmm.
that's to lose weight or to gain weight. So if you're trying to grow muscle, you have to rest to allow your body to reheal itself and to grow. If you're trying to lose weight, you have to let your body rest to get rid of all that stress hormones so that you're not holding on to things that you don't necessarily want. So yeah, it's definitely a complex
Mm.
that goes into physical fitness as well. Rest is what makes
Wow.
the work. I honestly I have a big disdain for hustle culture because of that.
Same.
It teaches people that we have to go, 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 and it's just like, no, baby, I did not. I don't feel like that is what I was called to do for the rest of
It's
my
not
life.
my
To just go,
ministry.
go, go. It's not my ministry. I want to chill. I want to rest.
Mm-hmm.
I want to enjoy life. Like I want to like I don't want to have to like hustle to the point where I have not lived life. So if pausing allows me to really be present, I'm gonna pause. Heavy on the pause.
Mm-hmm. And
Yeah.
I also think that rest looks differently in different stages of our life, right?
Most
Like, okay, so
definitely.
the relationship between you and I. So, um, at first connected with Shay at a health event. We connected on just like Black women being in healthcare,
Yeah.
and like it's crazy out here, but we love it, right? And so, she, I had never had a woman trainer. And so I went to her, and what I realized after going to her was because I was going through severe grief, like coming out of my divorce and after just having a baby and all of that, my body was not able to be as physically wired the way that it had been before all my life. Like I've been
Right.
physically active all my life, right? And so my first ideas was like, why is my body like doing this? Like my body ain't never tapped out, or my body has never gotten tired in like 20 minutes or like, and
Yeah.
I started to judge myself first, but then I had to realize, hold on, wait a minute. First of all, you just birthed a whole human. One. Two, when your body is going through grief, you do not have the same physical capacity
Mhm.
because it is ultimately in rest mode.
Yeah.
And so I had to then lean into like yoga and doing things where I met my body where I was, because rest for me looked totally different than rest had looked in different stages of my life.
Right.
What does rest look like for you current day?
I still struggle. So I preach it. I still struggle with it. My body is that we have this dynamic where it tells me I have to rest. I get
Mm.
injured. I get injured and I get called out. So I'm preparing for a bodybuilding competition this summer. And
Wow.
thank you. And I have a coach. My coach is like, we're gonna train hard 4 to 5 days a week, and we're gonna rest 2 to 3 days. I was not trying to hear that. I was like, nah, I got this. Like I box, I dance, I lift weights, I run. Like I'm gonna prepare for a half marathon, and I'm gonna do this at the same time while running my business and being a caretaker. Getting up at 2:30 in the morning, not taking a nap, getting all my meals, hydrating. Oh, girl, you gonna have a birthday for dinner? I'm gonna do all that too, and my body is doing it until it's not anymore, and
Uh-huh.
something just breaks. So I had an injury from like 12 years ago that I didn't even remember I had. 2 weeks ago, it decided just, okay, you're doing too much. Back went out.
Wow.
My back went out. I thought it was soreness at first. I was just like, oh, my back is just sore. I just, I don't know what workout I did. I've been doing the same thing. My body was just like, no. I honestly feel like this has been like a recurring mode. And I feel like I've learned the lesson this time to just honor the cycle of rest. Like it doesn't have to be that I lay in the bed all day and watch TV. It may just be that I don't go to the gym or lift weights, or maybe I'm just not walking that day. But I feel like I only got COVID because I needed to rest.
Mm.
Because when I tell you, I got COVID with no symptoms. It was kind of just like, they say I got COVID, but I feel fine. And I honestly just had to like sit in a room somewhere and be able to do nothing for 2 weeks. Same thing with like just asthma. Haven't had an asthma attack in like decades. Respiratory issues all of a sudden. So my body is always at a point where it's just like, it's more like probably I think like a 6 week or a 6 month cycle where it's just like, okay, you getting old now. Sit down somewhere. If we don't tell you we're tired, you won't be doing that. So I'm learning now that it's not lazy to rest, because that's the things that internally I wasn't giving myself grace. I tell everybody else like, you should rest, it's important, but when it comes to me, I'm not giving myself grace. So for me in this season, rest is synonymous with grace. Like, why am I abusing? Like, why am I self abusing myself? Like, honestly, like, give yourself grace to just not be able to do this right now. That's what rest
Well, I don't.
looks like to me.
That's not just your fault. Like this is generational messages, and I was just talking to one of my clients about this. That message go honestly, that's that message goes all the way back to slavery.
Yeah.
Like we're minorities are equated to we are valuable in what we do.
Mm-hmm.
So we're constantly trying to do but the humanism of us is who we are,
Yeah.
just existing, right? But the message has been transferred down for generations in so many ways to where we only evaluate who we are when we are in the action of doing
Yeah.
something. And the client that I was talking to, he's a man, and he referred himself to like just we kind of use the analogy of the Superman complex. And I was like, well, do you remember that Superman like took that cape off and went back to Clark Clint? What you think he was doing? Resting. Like he
Yeah.
needed his humanism to restore him so that he could go back out and like save the
Yeah.
world. And so we're not saying like separate yourself from your superhero complex and whatever you do,
Mm-hmm.
but like let's just add a little humanism in there and acknowledge that like we need
We
hydration
do.
and
Yeah.
nutrition. Like we can't run on caffeine all
Mm-hmm.
day and like sit down somewhere every now and then.
Sometimes you just gotta write that on your journal, like when you open it. Okay, I'm gonna go sit down. Just like
Uh-huh.
a little alarms to just take a break, necessary. Like it's a retraining myself of I know it's good. I know what it's meant for. I know that it's good for me, and I know that I'm not what a sum of what I do. Like just because I exist, I am enough. So I have to remind myself, like even if I did
Mm-hmm.
nothing, even if I didn't show up for no one, like I'm enough. So
Mm-hmm.
I can rest, just like
Mm-hmm.
everyone else. Like I can rest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Um, Last thing I want to highlight just how you've been expanding your business in these different like social capacities.
Mm-hmm.
Um, what does that look like as it relates to, I guess how 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 you have to not only restore yourself physically, but restore yourself socially to spread
That is.
yourself in all of these different parts of you.
I'm still learning. I feel like yesterday. I literally had this conversation with a therapist yesterday. I was like, I feel like I compartmentalized everything. Like I had intense grief and sadness within the business. We had one of the women here just went through something that I would not wish anyone to experience, and it was like I honestly wanted to disconnect for the whole day, but I have an event coming up where I have to be social on
Mm-hmm.
Saturday, and I
Mm-hmm.
have sponsors and vendors that I have to show up as my social self as. So it's just like I honestly just feel like multiple split personalities. I honestly felt I was like I think I'm crazy because I am intensely sad. I am grieving right now, but I have to like literally turn my head and put on another face and go to this event and show up and give my elevator pitch, and then I have to turn my face again and be the operational, we're doing this logistics person. I don't know that I have found a way yet to do it, because I even in like knowing or recognizing that this is what's happening, the only thing that I've been able to tell my family and friends when they ask like what are you going to do for yourself afterwards, I was just like, well, on the 25th, after we brunch, I'm going to sleep. I was like, I don't want to talk to nobody. I'm going into a coma. So that's really what I do is like I have to revert into like aloneness because I'm always around people and I'm always
You
giving
are.
myself. So I'm just like, and it's like I love y'all, but I don't know if I like y'all all the time, and I just want to be by myself. So
Mm-hmm.
that's what I do. I retreat. I retreat. So it's so funny because people that meet me now, they're just like, you're so bubbly and you're so, and I'm just like, I really am not.
Mm-hmm.
I really would prefer to just be by myself and read a book. So I've done that. I've got back to reading. I got my Audible subscription. I'll get in my car and I'll drive and just be alone. I'll sit in my car and not get out of my car for like a whole hour just to take that time. And I've brought in so many plants into my home so that when I can't go outside for fear of being around people, I can just
Mm.
be inside alone in myself and just have that time. So I just disconnect completely. Like, I'm okay. I love y'all, not depressed. Just need to go comatose for a second, recharge, and just be alone. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. I don't know if that's healthy yet, but that's what I've been doing. Is just knowing that I have to go through like the 10 phases of Chef at any given day, any given moment. That when I do end, I completely end. Like I really, it's like you pull out a battery pack out of me.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yep. Totally understand that. And it can make you feel kind of like disconnected, but I think that that's the thing about what we do is if you don't know how to compartmentalize in what we do and our personality types, that's why I asked, because our personality is like almost one and the same, but like baby, I get to like check out more than you do,
Yeah.
and so God bless you. But is I think knowing how to show up in compartmentalizing
Yeah.
is also an act of wellness.
Yeah.
Like I'm not bringing my stuff out here to y'all. I'm
Right.
not bringing this intense sadness to my work,
Mm-hmm.
but I also get to prioritize it. Like I feel sad and I feel drained and I need to step away. And you need support people in your life that know that she about to go in hibernation for a minute, but she gonna come back out.
Mm-hmm.
Like my people, I've operated like that literally since high school. She gonna come back out, and when she come back out, she gonna be recharged. But you
Yeah.
got to give her space.
Just give me
And
space.
so, I thank you for sharing that, because I think a lot of people feel like they going back to that yes and no, that they don't get to compartmentalize, that they got to
Mm-hmm.
carry all of that stuff with them in these different spaces of their lives.
Yeah.
So I want to share what I took away from this as we wrap up, and I want to hear what you took away. My takeaway from today's discussion is prevent yourself inadequate care before the burnout.
That's good. That's good.
What, what about you?
My takeaway from today is to honor thyself first before you can be honorable and serve and of service to others. Just period. Just like you first is not wrong. Like we have to like reprogram that. We have to unlearn that selfishness is wrong. Like we have to unlearn that and relearn that if you don't put yourself first, you can't help nobody else.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I get from that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
today.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Coach Shay.
Thank
We
you.
appreciate all that you're
Thank
doing in the Southwest Florida community.
you.
Please share your upcoming Heartfest event and all of the things and where to find you and all of your services.
Most definitely. This Saturday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m., we are having Heart Hustle Fest at Roberto Clemente Park. It is a free community event. We're having a 5K fun run, so it's free. You just register, go on to hearthustlefest.com for all that information. The map of the course is up, so you can take a look at the communities that we'll be running through, all for the sake of showing health equity, health literacy, mostly prevalent to heart health and how that just relates to everything else. You can always stay connected with me here at Shelby Scent or by following my business page in Coop the Beach. They call me Beaches sometimes. That's it.
Shay also has ebooks to help you on your wellness and physical fitness journey. She also has clothing if you need an extra confidence boost to look nice and cute in the gym, because like she be real humble and not like throwing this stuff out there. So again, thank you so much. I thank God for you and just who you are in my life. And yeah, anybody before we jump off have any questions for Coach Shay or myself? Thank y'all so much for joining.
Yay.
And
I was like, I should have had my other phone so I could have did the waving stuff, but I'm new to this. I think this is great. You took me out of my comfort zone because although I record the videos, it's usually just like myself. I have time to like stop it, edit it, and take it out. I was like, oh, this is live. Whatever I say is gonna be there for the people.
it's there.
So
It's there. Uh-huh.
so
Yeah.
thank you for this opportunity to show up and just be my authentic self and whatever come out, just come out.
Well, thanks for trusting me in this space. I appreciate
Yes,
that.
yes, yes, yes. Hey, I see you, Brittany. Thanks for the fire.
All right, y'all. Well,
on.
y'all have a great weekend. If you are in the Southwest Florida area, I hope that you can get out and see Coach Shay in person. But we will be next Monday is intellectual wellness. So we will see you guys on the next one. Y'all be well, breathe through it. Bye.